This is Joanna Conde, and this is my first video in a series called Real Estate for Seniors and Their Families. And in this series, we're going to be talking about the reasons people might want to buy a new home or they might want to sell a house. And this is for buyers. So if you are a buyer or you are thinking of becoming a buyer, then this video is for you. You know, if you start looking at houses on the internet, or maybe your wife starts looking on your houses, or maybe your husband does, then that's the first indication that you're seriously, well, maybe semi-seriously looking to move. And there are 5 major reasons why you might want to move. The first one is their emotional reasons. And that could be something like you want to be closer to your children or your grandchildren. Maybe you've lost a spouse and the house doesn't feel right to you anymore. Or maybe the neighborhood has changed. Maybe a lot of your friends have moved away and you're going, I don't feel like I'm home anymore. So those are reasons that are emotional. And you're thinking, you know, maybe it's time I moved. There are health reasons why you might want to move. Maybe you're tired of walking up and down to the 2nd floor, or maybe the 3rd floor, or down to the basement. Maybe you really want a 1-story. Maybe you want to have a house that's not so hard to take care of, not so big to clean. You know, it was great when you had 3 kids and you had dogs, but you don't have 3 kids at home anymore. You don't have dogs, or you have a small dog, and you want something that's easy to maintain. Another part of the health reason might be safety. Maybe the neighborhood has changed and you don't feel safe in it. It's too big a house. So that's the second reason, health reasons. Third reason is maybe you want a different lifestyle. Maybe you're just tired of doing the same thing over and over again and you want to change. You want to move to a neighborhood where there are more fun things to do and you can do them all year round. It's nice to live back east in the summer, but sometimes it's not so good in the winter when you're afraid to go out and take a walk because you think you might slip and fall on the ice. Maybe you've retired and now you go, I don't have to go into work. I don't need to live this far or this close to work. I want to have fun. I want to go someplace where I can have fun and I can do things. So a lifestyle change might be another reason you might want to move. A 4th reason is climate. And I mentioned it earlier, but having been raised in upstate New York, where there were snow days and it was cold and snow and shoveling and icy walks. That was great when I was a kid growing up. But as I got older, well, I wasn't older when I moved here. I moved here in my 40s. But it's not so much fun for a senior. Shoveling, walking on ice, you're thinking, I don't need this. Maybe you want to be just away for the really worst months and you want to go someplace warm and buy a second home there. Or maybe you want to move permanently. Or on the other side, since I now live in Arizona, I can tell you when there are 3 months of 100-degree heat, I often say, I think I might like to have a second home someplace else. Why? Because I really want to get out of the heat. So having a second home and getting out of the weather might be a good idea. Or you might get tired of the rains and the gloominess someplace, or you might get tired of the hurricanes and the tornadoes. Those are reasons to move that have to do with climate. And now the 5th reason. The 5th reason is financial. You live in this big house, you have lots of equity in it, and you're going, you know what? If I sold this house and bought something smaller, I would have money that I could do other things with. I could go and take a vacation. I could lock and leave it. Those are lock and leave variety houses, and I can go visit people or take a cruise. But I have money and I don't have to worry about it. So for financial reasons, you might want to move. Before you decide to move and start really seriously looking, think about the whys. Write them down. Why do I want to move? Make a list. And then think of the pros and cons of each of those. And then after you've done that and you say, yes, this is really a good thing, I want to do it. Now the next question is, where? And that's what we'll be covering in our next video. Again, this is Real Estate for Seniors and Their Families. And this is the first buyer's episode. And please subscribe if you'd like to hear more. And please give us a like. And thank you again for joining us.